A mother goat warns her 7 kids to stay safe and not open the door to anyone except her. But when a wolf tricks them by mimicking her voice, they fall for it. The kids let him in. 1 kid is devoured, fear spreads. It's not just a fairy tale, it's a lesson in trauma. In its peaceful world, the 7 little goats are filled with innocence and joy. Their mother's warnings are clear. She loves them and only wants to protect them, but the world outside is full of danger, and one such danger is the wolf. The wolf represents this force, something lurking in the shadows ready to strike when you least expect it. Trauma often strikes suddenly. It's the unexpected force that disrupts your sense of safety and forces you into survival mode. The wolf's words sound familiar, but something feels wrong. The children hesitate. They are unsure, should they trust what they hear or should they follow the warnings given to them? In trauma, the line between trust and danger can blur. The sudden threat, the wolf knocking on the door, was a violation of their sense of safety. It shattered their world in an instant. This is how trauma works. It interrupts the ordinary flow of life and creates fear, confusion, and a deep sense of vulnerability. The trauma isn't just physical, it's psychological. The wolf manipulates their trust, deceiving them with tricks that feel familiar. The children, already shaken, are now faced with an impossible choice. Trust what they've been taught, or trust the one who promises safety but ultimately brings harm. For the children, trust was shattered that day. Their belief in the safety of their world, in their home, and in their mother's words was broken. For trauma survivors, betrayal feels like the hardest blow. The world no longer feels safe, and those who should protect can sometimes be the ones who hurt you. When trauma strikes, trust becomes hard to rebuild. In the wake of a betrayal, it's difficult to discern who can be trusted again. This is how PTSD develops. Fear of danger can seep into even the most familiar spaces, making it hard to distinguish between safety and threat. These kids, after the wolf's attack, no longer feel safe in their own home. Every sound, every movement makes them jump in fear. Post-traumatic stress disorder is often marked by hypervigilance, being constantly on edge, expecting danger at any moment. Their minds are stuck in survival mode, and the trauma continues to haunt them. This kind of anxiety and hyper-awareness can consume a person. They become so focused on potential threats that they're unable to find peace. The children are no longer living, they're surviving, and it's exhausting. This is the second stage of PTSD, reliving the trauma through intrusive thoughts, flashbacks, and constant fear. The children, now deeply affected by the wolf's attack, feel as though they failed to follow their mother's warnings, that somehow they are to blame for the destruction, that this isn't their fault. In trauma, the mind distorts reality to cope with the unthinkable. Recognize the signs of trauma: hypervigilance, difficulty trusting others, flashbacks and intrusive thoughts, avoidance, feeling powerless or helpless, guilt and self-blame, breaking the cycle, the journey to healing and resilience. Healing from trauma isn't about forgetting what happened, it's about learning how to live with it, acknowledging the pain, but not allowing it to define who you are. It's about reclaiming the power that trauma once stole from you. Trauma changes us, but it doesn't have to define us. Healing is a process. If you've experienced trauma or PTSD, you're not alone. There is hope, and recovery is possible. If you or someone you know is struggling with trauma, reach out. Healing starts with understanding and support.
lost in the woods of yesterday. Stories where I used to play. Giants and dragons fade away. Now I'm searching for the way. Wishing wells and magic beams, secrets hidden in the seams. Castles crumbling, losing gleams. All these fragments of my dreams. Once upon a mind we leave behind. Fairy tales no longer blind. Truth and tales so